Never in my life has I needed Chester Cheetah to show up and give me the magical password into his magical pillow fort before, as I do right now. Shit's a little sideways. There's no shame in opting to worry about your own physical and mental health right now. Tessa doesn't want to work right now. That's cool. That, however, does kind of collide with what the company needs to do, which is have a champion. Now, they seem pretty gung-ho on having Moose be, the quote-unquote guy during this tenure, or at least that's how they felt during the Atlanta tapings. They're finishing up, or already finished up the tapings in Nashville. I don't know if they're going to be as kind of on board with it now. Another 4 or 6 weeks. This is going to take them up to Slammiversary. No Tessa. What are they going to do? I will never behoove. No, that's not the right word. I will never malign Blanchard and her decision not to work for Impact during this COVID-19 pandemic. But I also, we need to be honest. If she feels she can't do the duties of the champion, then she needs to not be champion. That may be harsh, but the company is more than one person. Especially if you're bringing in guys like Mike Bennett, EC3, and potentially Eric Young, who are all former world champions. Plus, you have Rhino, you have Tommy Dreamer, you have Eddie Edwards, you have Michael Elgin, you have Sami Callihan, you have Ken Shamrock, and you have the Moose. You need someone who can be a world champion and defend that belt all the time. And while I do agree with you that, her not working, is up to her entirely, the fact that Taya and Jordan showed up for work, if half the company doesn't want to show up for work, all right. But if you are the last holdout, that's not good.
And you're supposed to be the centerpiece.
Yeah.
And it said, she's not even Skyping in to be a bugaboo on the show.
A bugaboo. That's some 90s right there.
At least Callahan would do that. Or even Moose, I would imagine. But and we talked about this off air, this whole situation does add a bit, another layer to the level of convenience because she is in the middle of planning the wedding. But still, it's a big deal that she got that title because it may very well not happen again. And if this feud, this reign ends with her being stripped, like I told you, I can't really see her. I can see her being in potential contention again, but as far as them putting it on her, she's not. If she was gung ho to do as much as she could during this time, or whatever, that might switch the perception in the company. But right now, I would imagine it's like some people may very well be in their right mind and be like, she's not even meeting us halfway right now.
So you're sometimes following you sucks because how do you add on? It's like we're building a Lego village and you built a castle and I'm building a one-room shanty. But I have a crystal in my motherfucker. Look at that shit. It's blinging. So you're right. Everything you just said is right. And I think the one thing that you hit on that, needs to be talked about is how much is she vouching or going to the company like, hey, I got ideas. Because, for fucking 6 weeks, we didn't even think about it. We're like, well, we don't see Jordan, we don't know why. We don't see Tessa, and we don't know why. And we thought to ourselves, well, maybe it's just, it's hard. Maybe they can't film content, or, maybe the company doesn't want them to film content. But then we got 6 weeks of the North basically just fucking around. And it was great. Tonight, unless I missed something, was the first night I didn't see the North on TV in 6 weeks. So, was there an option for Jordan? Even Taya did some stuff. At least I think she did. She did a bunch of stuff for the Impact, Twitch stuff, no, not Twitch stuff, Twitter stuff. She was she did a phone call, I think. But was the suggestions offered up to Tessa? Did Tessa turn them down? Did she outright refuse? Did she suggest things and was told we don't need anything right now? Just kind of chill and hang out? Like, I don't know. If she's like, I got like 60 ideas and Impact's like, we'll just wait until you come back. Don't worry about it. Then fair. No heat on her.
Yeah.
But if they're like, hey, the North's doing a bunch of stuff. You want to do some stuff with Daga? Nah. All right. Well, now you're just kind of being, a faux leader. Because that was the one thing that, when she was, coming up to be champion, she was like, I want to be a locker room leader. I want to be the kind of person that, the company can look forward to and build around and show the world what women can do and all this great rhetoric. And, well, everyone's here but you. And, like with Eddie and Alicia, they have a little kid now. And they're parents now. They don't want to put that little girl in danger. So I get that. But on the flip side, Tessa doesn't have that same issue. She doesn't have a kid. And, I know Daga looks like a baby Mexican Davey Richards anyway, but I don't think he qualifies. So it's kind of one of those things where I think, either she needs to sack up or, strip off. Either show up to work or give us back the belt.
And it was really crazy. I mean, like I said, it sucks on both sides because people are already thumbing their nose up at the company for making a decision in the first place, and it was kind of up to her to kind of, even in the midst of everything that happened with whatever was did, to say it or not say it, for her to kind of, show and prove and deliver some great feuds, and some good matches. And I think there was a lot of potential for that, specifically with Elgin and Edwards. But I mean, you thinking about the names you're talking about bringing in, the EC3, Spuzz, and other names. These are perfect names to have her. Because to me, her whole reign doesn't work unless she, the whole target on her back thing really has to be like super improvised. You got Moose, Edwards, Elgin, EC3, all these people like just coming out to her relentlessly to the point where it was kind of going. It was like it was literally driving her to the point where she was damn near paranoid about the situation. I almost felt like she was about to go into the my precious type of deal with the championship. But now it's like if like I said, they strip her, and it's that everybody was like, well, you should have never put it on her in the first place. I'm like, to be fair, give her my bit of credit. Had it been Edwards, he would have been home too.
Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. This is not a simple discussion to have about, well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place now, because who the fuck saw this coming?
Exactly.
Like, I'm still waiting for the locusts. Because at that point, I know what's up.
To be fair, they might have been killed by them damn thug hornets or whatever.
Oh, the murder hornets? Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And so the hashtag bees or our bitches. That is their tagline.
Okay, so like, there's so many things I want to say to joke around, but like, even I'm not dumb enough to make those jokes today. I'm smarter than that, but I'll tell you off the air. But when it comes to Tessa, like, you're right. There is a negative and an unfair negative perception on her as well, but it's still there, and it's still partly her doing. And I don't know how you come back from this as champion, because, it's one thing to sit out with half the roster. It's another thing to be the only one sitting out. And it's another thing entirely to be the face of the company, who you're trying to build around, who you're trying to shatter the glass ceiling and destroy the gender barrier and all that. And you're the only one who's too afraid to show up. Now, I get it. You have a right to be afraid. You have a right to not do this. But as a wrestling fan, as a promotion, we have rights to ask you to relinquish this then if you don't have the fortitude to carry it. We a lot of the discussion recently, not to get too heavy-handed, but a lot of discussion last week is about personal responsibility and ethics. It's about, taking ownership of your decisions. There are consequences to one's actions. Now, Tessa's only sitting at home in Mexico with a belt. It's not like she's doing anything problematic, outside of, hanging out with, Spanish Richards. Not that that's problematic, but I just got to find new ways to interject the idea that Daga is basically just Mexican Davey Richards, because it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever noticed in my life. But Tessa needs to kind of make that decision, and if she doesn't, then the company needs to make it for her. It's kind of that simple.